Heya, this is Sydney, and I am here to talk us through it for April 12th, 2025. There's a full moon today, and so it will be forming all day until the full moon at 5:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the full moon in Libra. So whenever we have a Libra and Aries activated, we know that there's something about relationships going on here, right? The me versus you sort of thing. And with the full moon in Libra, we find her in the 16th mansion, which has to do with transactions, right? It has to do with balance and wealth. I am looking at Christopher Warnock's Mansions of the Moon book. I really, really love it. The mansion is called Al Zubana, also known as the claws. It has the nature of Saturn and Mars, and so there could be something here about cutting and culling, especially when we have the relationship of Libra and Aries kind of come up. It's like awareness, and then I gotta cut it out, I gotta get rid of it. It doesn't like fulfill my ultimate goal going forward. Full moons are about release, right? And I think it's always really good to remember that, because as we have the new moon, and it gives us the ability to kind of plant seeds, and then we watch them grow. In the full moon, we get the full culmination of whatever we planted before in the new moon, and it kind of comes out, it comes to light. We can see it even in the dark with the full moon. Some interesting things about the full moon is that we do have, it's not exact, but it is close, a cardinal T-square between the full moon and Mars. So there is something is pushing us to make some changes to go forward. Within about 5-ish degrees, we do have the Pluto-Mars opposition now forming. We're getting closer and closer to the final opposition before they move on. I think this will be the third opposition between Pluto and Mars. So we're waiting for like the final countdown. So we have these oppositions in the sky. We know that there's a tension, and it doesn't necessarily feel great, but we are definitely wanting to release something. I think that there is some irritation in the sky because Mars is in play, especially with the moon and the sun, not feeling super great, needing to make some changes. We have the sun and Chiron are conjunct. And so the sun brings an awareness and a light to our wounds and to our pain. I think that there is a highlight around, or a full release, or action taken about our wounds, our pain. Usually I would like the sun and Chiron, to be together. It can make you a bit more sensitive, but with that opposition, and also the T-square with the Mars, I think this is pretty spicy and feeling pretty hurt, and all awareness is just kind of on this space. We still have that Pisces pile up. And what is also very interesting about this full moon is that Venus in Pisces is going to go direct just after this at 6:02 p.m. So it's like the ruler of the moon in this full moon is Pisces. She's still retrograde. So there's an awareness about something about the past, I think. And we need to find that full awareness, the full moon awareness and culmination, in order for us to move forward, right? When Venus changes direction. And Venus is essentially stationed right now, so she's quite potent. There's a real reevaluation here, probably about the transactions that we have inside of relationships. After this full moon, though, we also have some quincunxes. So now we're making adjustments, awareness, and now we have adjustments. We have the moon, quincunx Venus in Pisces. That's about 8 p.m. Closer to 9 p.m. we have the moon quincunx Uranus. That's going to be like shocking kind of things that we need to adjust to, emotionally adjust to. We have the moon quincunx Saturn, also not a great aspect, will make us feel a bit anxious. And then at 10:30 p.m. we have the moon in Libra square Mars in Cancer, and this is when it's actually exact, right? So even though that T-square between the moon, the sun, and Mars are in the sky operational for the full moon, that full, like maybe emotional kind of breakthrough or anger or, maybe just not feeling seen or heard, feeling hurt. It doesn't really quite culminate. It doesn't quite form and click into place until that square happens in the evening. I think that today feels very emotional. I mean, full moons often are pretty cranky with Mars in play in the way that it is, and also Chiron. And there's also something here that we are learning about what that Neptune in Aries story is, our visions of our new dream, around being a warrior, of being a fighter, of going into our new frontiers. Perhaps the full moon brings a break in awareness so that we know what vision that we're upholding and how we want to go forward. There's always the information of being very kind to yourself when lunations happen, right? Because we can be just feeling extra sensitive, especially when we are being called to release something, whether that is literally a relationship or some sort of emotional stuff that we've been holding on for a long time, and especially around like our wounds and our pain. So do the releasing, do the crying if you need to. And I hope that this full moon brings you into a place of peace in your heart around how you need to move forward. Yeah. All right. Take care.
Hey, thank you for listening to today's Astro Weather with me. I'm Sydney. As a reminder, I'm always open to seeing both new and my beloved returning clients. My website is ddastrology.com, that is D as in dog, astrology.com, to check me out and just click the email buttons in order to schedule with me. If you're into a more conversational feel with your podcast and content, I have a podcast called BS Astrology with my fellow Mercurial Mommy Bender, and we put out episodes every Sunday for the week. Just search BS Astrology on YouTube or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcast, including Spotify, Audible, and more. Have a good day.